Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 3 of the Mr. and Mrs. Hall review of Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness Services here in Columbia, South Carolina. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, we have a quite different review, kind of different than the first two that we talked about. We have another service here at Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness that's called Distant Reiki Service. Distant Reiki Service means that you do not have to come to my facility to be able to obtain energy for whatever situation you may have. It works pretty much just like an FM radio station. You could be 100 miles from that radio station tower, but you can turn on your FM radio and you get the signal, just like that. That is how the Reiki energy also travel. There's no such thing as time or distance between energy and whoever is going to receive it. So you could be in Japan and I could be here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I can direct energy from my location to you, and you would get it instantly. Or basically, we can program it at a certain time when it will actually arrive. So, no further ado, we're gonna let Mrs. Hall, Mr. and Mrs. Hall, share concerning I would say, a treatment or a service that they partake in dealing with distant Reiki service that we provide here at Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness.
All right. Hello once again. And what it is with the distance Reiki is that we have been coming in for sessions, and we were getting, well, I don't want to use the term heal because I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but we were getting better, with the treatments.
As long as you saying heal.
Oh.
That's fine. They can't do that because you are the recipient of what's going on, and if you say you've been healed, you've been healed.
All right. We were getting healed of several different ailments, but we have a son that was dealing with some stuff, and it had us, really about to pull our hair out, for the different things that different challenges that he was facing, and on one of our visits. My wife, being a woman, very, 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 very curious about stuff. So when we were about to leave, she asked Doc about these different grids that he have in the treatment room. And he went on to explain to her, what they were and how he used them. And at that point, we explained to him about our son, and, he was like, well, bring him in. And, we brought it to his attention that, he's not able to travel.
Right.
So he explained to us, what could be done. And, me and my wife came to an agreement that, if it's working for us and, Doc's word has been spot on at this point, like, what the hell? Why not, get us a try too, especially if it's going to help us get some more sleep at home,
Yes.
Dealing with this boy.
Uh-huh.
So, without giving away everything, he had us to do some, let's just call it different paperwork in the office. Prior to that, he took my wife back there and, whatever kind of energy she felt coming over those grids when he actually took her, one-on-one with the grids, she was sold at that point. I'm a coward and I'm a skeptic, so therefore, when he invited me to come back, I was, that's okay. I'll take her word for it because I didn't want, not getting on me. That's just a joke, but I didn't go back there. And so, like I said, at that point when she came out, we discussed it. Being that it's getting close to, time. Well, at that point it was getting close to time to go back to school. And we wanted to get a head start on, some different stuff related to him. And I guess we got started with it. And my wife can tell you how it's been working, because she's at home more than I am. So here's my darling wife.
All right. Just before she come in, Let me help everyone to understand what we're talking about. What he was talking about in the my healing room here, I have what is called crystal grids, and these crystal grids are grids of different geometric design, and we put crystals on the design, and these crystals transmit energy into the universe, frequency. And so when I doing distant Reiki, and I turn around and I put someone issue or someone problem or whatever it is under that grid, then that grid begin to transmit the energy to balance the yin and the yang in whatever that situation is, because that's what the crystal grid is designed for. I have what is called a balancing one to balance the yin and the yang in any and all type of situation. So that's what he was referring to, that they was going to take advantage of in reference to the sun. Ms. Hall, you can take it from there.
Okay, well, like my husband said, I was asking questions about the grid. Dr. Wright told me, or Mr. Wright told me to put my hand over that I could feel the energy. And I did, and you could really feel the energy coming from the paper, from the grid, which I thought was awesome because I had never felt nothing or seen anything like that. So after discussing with him about our son, he, like my husband said, he told us to fill out the papers, and Mr. Wright told us what to do with my son, well, with our son the next morning. He was to get up early in the morning, sit quietly with his eyes closed in a prayer position, and, you know, just in a meditative state, I would say. We did that for a couple of days. Really nothing in particular, I would say, happened, but a couple of days after that, he had emotional breakdown. And he went in the room, and, you know, tears was rolling, and he was beating on a punching bag that we had in the room. And I called his dad because I was like, something is going on. So I explained to him what was going on, and he called Mr. Wright and told him what was going on. Mr. Wright had me to call him and explain to him exactly what my son was doing. And when I explained it to him, he told me that was fine because that was part of the process of him dealing with certain things that he had been through. One of the things that our son deals with is, I'm gonna say, an eating disorder. He eats whatever, whenever, too much of it. So that was the thing that really was getting us started with the distant Reiki, and it has helped because not only do I notice that he's not overeating, and after several talks as well, he gets up and he's able to exercise on it. He didn't have the energy or the I'm gonna say that drive of fire of just getting up doing anything on his own. Right. And now, you know, he gets up and he's able to exercise on his own. And after my other children seeing him, seeing him doing that, they have took on the role. His younger brother have took on the role, and now he don't need me to get up and exercise with him, that he's getting up exercising on his own as well.
Wow. So it had like a domino effect.
Yes.
Right. Wow. And notice there's one common denominator there. Even in the distant Reiki service, you may not see it right then. But it would be just like what happened with you when you had that the mental Reiki service. You didn't feel nothing that day, but it popped up the next day. So whereas your son had got some distant Reiki services, and it was a few days later, that's when it kicked in, because it was going in and breaking up that stuff that he had suppressed deep inside of him, and now it was coming out because he was saying, "Oh, he's beating on the bag," or what? I said, "No, as long as he's beating on the bag, that's fine. That's fine. Let him get it all out of him, you know, because then the energy can flow. Because that was what was inside of him was taking out the energy."
No, I was just gonna point out for the listeners is although we got him started on the distant Reiki, when she gave him his instructions of what he needed to get up and do, he had no idea that he was being treated. He was just following his mother's directions.
Still don't know.
Right. Okay. So that's.
So he don't even know what was going on.
He don't know to this very day that he's being treated for anything. He just knows that he better do what we tell him.
Right.
And still get up and do his, meditative state that, you know, just sitting there quiet. We also gave him some affirmations where, you know, he speak positive things in his life and all that. And I would say it's working.
Yes.
Not say it's working.
It's working. You see the evidence. That's right. That's right.
Even though you want to see bigger, faster, quicker evidence, you know, life don't always give you what you want when you want it, but we are receiving, you know, we are receiving.
Right. Yeah. Because, see, a lot of people, you know, when they see this, they'll be able to say, wow, you know, that might be what I need, you know, because people are dealing with a lot with these, with our young adults. Because I heard a story yesterday, it just pricked me to my heart because I know I can help, you know, but everybody's not receivable of this information. So I had to like pick who I share the information with, because people shut down on you quick.
And not only that, people have been scammed so much with people guaranteeing that they can produce results and not getting those results, and it steer you away from someone that could actually produce those results like you know, for someone, for instance, when me and my husband started looking for healing and things, you know, we was going to different doctors and people stuff, and it was people that, you know, especially the naturopath, you know, we can do this and we can do that, but you're taking our money and we're not getting the results.
Right.
Well, that's why I was saying that when we first came, that I was really a diehard skeptic, not from the point of not wanting to pay for anything, but just so sick of the bullshit. Just so sick of it, and then you give up the, you know, the hard-earned money and get nothing, and then somebody turn around and make it out to you like it's your fault that you didn't get nothing based on what they guaranteed.
Right.
And I don't think it says the treatment been done.
You know, this is how I take what I do. You know, I have people that's skeptical. You know, I say, well, you don't even have to believe it. But you get on that table, when I get through with you, you're going to feel something. If you don't feel it right then, you're going to feel it a day or two down the road. And you're going to know that that something happened.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to know. And I did one for my son this past week because he had a bad experience. I sent him to Walmart to pick up me some paper. He picked up the paper, and then he got approached by a Walmart employee and said, sir, you sure you don't have nothing in your pocket? And that did something to him because he's not that kind of person. And he was and all day, the rest of that day, he kept saying, Dad, I feel some kind of way. And I knew what was going on. That emotional feeling he needed to release that. So the next day I did a Reiki treatment on him. Then I had him to do a review. And he actually said in his review, he said, well, you know, I was somewhat of a doubter. You know, he didn't really believe all that actually really worked. But he was able to feel the energy that was going through his body when I was doing the session. So he's like, I'm not a doubter no more.
And I would have to say, to me, that's what most of our people, and I say our people because we go through so much. We're, you know, in stores, doctor's office, you know, people make lit comments and they get in your head, because I'm always telling my husband, I was like, you know, a child, example, a little girl could not have long, pretty hair. And her mom would do her hair with the ponytails, and in her eyes, when she's looking in the mirror, she loved her hair. She don't know that she really don't have hair down her back, and that, you know, maybe her hair's rough, coarse, or whatever, until another child tells her, you know, your hair is nappy, your hair is short. So in her mind, to her, it's something always going on with her hair. And so the reason why I say that is because when so much goes on with us as black people, I'm gonna say, you know, in the world, and it's basically emotional, because we don't like to tell certain people or just tell people what's going on with us.
Right.
And we hide those emotions and not realizing that it's blocking energy and causing pain.
That's right.
And I didn't realize this until coming to you, and I was just still, once again, so amazed at how much, you know, pain is caused because of our emotional state. You
That's
know,
right.
that because we're sad or dealing with grief or whatever. You know, your leg is hurting because of that. Your back is hurting because of that, and because the energy can't flow properly. And I just think it's amazing to know this now and to be able to deal with my emotions better.
Right.
Not saying that I'm not coming back to you, because I am.
Right.
But I'm just saying that, you know, I know how to deal with my emotion of saying, you know, when I come in, well, I got this going on now, and, you know, and you can deal with it.
Right. That's right.
But, you know, I just feel like we as black people need to come and get these sessions, because it would help them better to move forward.
Correct.
You know, moving the blocked energy and not dealing with the pain, because I realize that's what inflammation.
That's
you
right.
explained that to us about, you know, the inflammation in the body is, you know, dealing with the pain and the emotional state and all that. So
Right.
I ain't taking up your show. This is it.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, because you know, we gather so much emotional energy by different things that we involve ourselves in. For example, it's as simple as sitting down watching a movie. Are you aware that your subconscious doesn't know when something is real and not real? Prime example. Okay, you sitting down looking at a scary movie. You know it's just a movie. Then why are you scared?
I don't know why I do that.
It's your subconscious don't know any better. Your subconscious don't know any better. Your subconscious work just like if it was for real. And so guess what happened? You're developing what? Emotional energy. Now where that emotional energy goes at? It stays right inside of you.
And that's funny that you say that, because we can be watching a scary movie. He's like, honey, why are you so tense? It's just a movie. And I try to, you know, release that tension, but something else go on, I'm like, ooh, you know, closing my eyes or whatever. So, you know, that is very true.
And that's energy that you're creating, because, you know, we are generators. We batteries, basically, you know. And even down to people who like to look at soap operas. You know, they get all upset, and then when the husband come home, they think of the husband, you know.
That's Lifetime.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, all that stuff is generating more and more emotional energy that shows up in your body later on as some kind of sickness, or what I say, dis-ease. It's called dis-ease throughout your body.
And that is so true, because I used to sit and just watch Lifetime all the time. And then it just dawned on me, you need to stop watching this, because it's making me feel like the problems that I see in the movie is going on with me.
That's it.
So if he stay out an hour too long for work,
You think he's cheating.
yes, and I'm ready to kill him. Because in the movie, that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. It happens like that. And then another thing is, we take other people's situation and we're bringing it into our own life.
Yes, he talks about that a lot.
We take other people's situation. So something going on with Sue and John over here. Now you done brought it over here. Now you got the same mess going on over here. You know. So those are just simple ways that we create emotional energy that we don't even need. Whereas what we should be doing is fulfilling our purpose and our desires, going after our goals.
Cool.
You know, making a difference in people's lives. You know, and because if you're gossiping, you're only doing what? Generating more emotional energy that you don't even need. That's not even going to do you any good. You know, yeah. This has been a real good interview. Anything else you all want to share?
The only thing that I would like to share for the people that, you know, don't want to come in or skeptical about the session is just, you know, giving that distant Reiki a try. And just to see, you know, how it works for them. Like I said, you know, I didn't see no results the first couple of days with my son. But I would say about the 4th or 5th day, when he broke down, and you know, and I didn't know what to do at first, because I was like, I'm going to tear his tail up, because you know, he acting crazy and he want to punch on something. But then someone's like, call your husband and let him know what's going on. And when I did, you know, and you just explained that was part of the session, you know, even after that, he felt so much better, because he was able to come and just talk.
Right.
After, you know, letting out the tears and the punching of the anger and all that he had been balling up inside, and just taking things from his sister and brothers because he can't punch them.
Right.
You know, so he was dealing with so much, and, you know, we was able to talk, and I just know that it has helped him and it's continued helping him.
Right. Yes, that's correct. Even as we sit here and speak right now, his paperwork is sitting right under the grid over there, steady vibrating, steady transmitting into the atmosphere. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Long way around and drop one more.
Yes, we thank
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's another part of our services that we offer here at Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness. It's called Distant Reiki Service. Distant Reiki Treatment, meaning you don't even have to be here. All you got to do is pick up the phone, give us a call at 803-888-0088, or try to reach us on our website at Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness. That's CrystalReikihw.net, Crystal Reiki HW.net, and ask about our distant Reiki service, and we'll discuss everything with you and get you set up with no problem at all. It don't matter what the situation is, nothing too small, nothing too big. We can handle it. So once again, make sure you click on that subscribe so you can be in tune with what goes on here on this YouTube channel of Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness. And once again, I want to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Hall for sharing you all experience here at Crystal Reiki Healing and Wellness. Thank you.
For having us.
Thank you, yes.
Appreciate it very much.